Today we're jumping into furniture trends to 2024 in ways that won't break the bank. Come join me. Hey guys, it's Kara with Lemons to Lemonade Furniture, and in today's exciting video we are about to explore some of the latest furniture trends that are projected for 2024 and how you can incorporate them pretty much effortlessly into your home. Get ready to transform your living spaces with these affordable and stylish furniture ideas. Let's go. For today's video, I picked a dresser that's fairly easy to find these days. It seems like every time I go into a thrift store, there's always one of these heavy, ornate looking dressers with the big chunky handles. I chose this dresser specifically because I know a few of you have these laying around, and I'm hoping to inspire you with how to turn this thing into something with some wow factor. And it's also going to hit some of those trending designs for 2024. This one right here is a Stanley 9-drawer dresser. It is not, however, solid wood. The top of this is laminate on top of MDF or particle board. This guy's in really good shape except for a chunk that's missing on the top, but we'll take care of that in just a little bit. First thing I'll need to do is to remove these heavy handles. Styles for 2024 are still sleek and modern looking, so these bigger ornate pieces, they're gonna need to go. So I'll take these off and put them to the side. I picked up this Stanley dresser from an auction a few months back and I paid $5 for it. That's right, $5. And I have a sneaky suspicion that when I get done with it, it'll be worth a little more than that. But since this has been sitting in my garage for a while, it needs a really good clean. I'll use some Simple Green to get off all of the dirt and grime. I'll also have some warm water and my favorite drill attachment scrub brush to get into all these dated details. Once this guy has a good clean, I'll use some fresh water to make sure that all of my cleaner is removed also. Once I'm done cleaning the outside, I'll take the dresser all apart and vacuum out the insides and clean the drawers. This is a perfect time to just assess any damage that you might have and make sure that you've taken a mental note of things that might need to be fixed as you go along. Warm, neutral tones and natural wood looks and texture are massively on trend for 2024 furniture items. And although this dresser has a laminate top that cannot be sanded down, we're going to give this one an updated look that allows me to create a totally new design, even though I'm not starting off with the best of materials. In order to start this fresh look off, I'll give the entire piece a good scuff sand to ensure that my finish adheres nicely. I'm starting off using an 180 grit sanding disc on my orbital sander to go over the body of this dresser. And my orbital sander will not be a good fit for going over the detailed fronts of this, so I got out my Surf Prep 3x4 Ray sander with the squishy foam abrasive pad to go into all these corners and edges. Now that I'm done sanding my piece, I'll get a damp cloth and get off all of that sanding dust. This time I'm pretty fortunate on this flip to only have one small little fix. This particle board MDF on the top, I'm going to take a piece of cardboard and adhere it to the back with some painter's tape. I'll use a 2-part Bondo epoxy putty to fill in this little missing chip, and I'll let that set up for a little while I move on to the next step. I'm going to give this dresser a bit of a two-tone look, so I'm going to tape off the top and cover it with a plastic drop cloth. I don't want any overspray getting onto this top. The body of this dresser will have some tannins that will definitely bleed through into my paint, so it needs to be primed. But this can of primer has not been used in a while. So I got out my heavy duty paint mixer that attaches to the drill. It saves me loads of time having to try to shake this up or hand mix it myself. And quite honestly, I love this tool and I look for any excuse to use it. Now that the primer's mixed well, I'll load it into my gravity-fed HVLP sprayer. And I'll need to tape up all my drawers so they don't get any overspray or primer onto them. Now that everything is covered, I'll prime the body of the dresser. Today I'm using Sherwin-Williams shellac-based primer in the purple can. Once that first coat of primer is dry, I'll use a squishy foam abrasive to help remove any lumps and bumps that the primer may have left behind. I filled in the old hardware holes and used this little detail sander to get into these little bitty spots. Warm neutrals are the color trend coming out for 2024, so I chose to go with this warm beigey white neutral called Pop the Bubbly from Country Chic Paint. This is an all-in-one paint and it's a little bit thicker than I'm used to using, so I did have to water it down once I had it loaded into my HVLP sprayer. I have linked everything I'm using today down in the video description below, so be sure to check that out if you're interested. I did remove that door front to make it a little bit easier to work on, and the hinges because they did need a good clean. I will say that the longest part of this whole flip was painting all 9 of these dresser drawers. Did you forget about the little fix that was on the top of this dresser? Well, honestly, I did too, and I'm using 180 grit sandpaper to smooth down the Bondo. The little piece of cardboard that was left on the side, that's just to help the Bondo not to spill over, and it makes for a lot less cleanup that needs to be done when I get to the sanding part. That natural wood look that is so on trend right now, and we're going to continue to see it well into 2024. What are you supposed to do when you're not starting off with real wood? Well, we're going to have to fake it, and that's exactly what we're going to do today using this new product called Retique It. It's definitely one of my new favorite things. You've seen me use it a few times already on my channel, but today I'm going to be using it just a little bit differently. I'm going to start off with 2 coats of the Retique It primer. It has natural wood fibers built into it. I'm going to do a new technique today, and you won't believe how realistic this looks at the end, so be sure to stay tuned. I purchased a kit of different wood graining tools on Amazon. I wasn't quite sure the pattern that I wanted on this, so I wanted to be safe and just give myself a few different options. But before I practiced on my dresser, I got out this board and put a few layers of that Retique It primer on there so that I could try a few of these graining tools just to see what technique I liked best. I brushed on a thin coat of the wood stain from Retique It and then used a few of the different tools just to see what technique and what grain looked best. Once I felt comfortable with the technique and figured out the graining pattern that I wanted to use, I was brave enough to try it on top of the dresser. Actually, it really wasn't that hard at all and was super user-friendly. I was pleasantly surprised on how much open time I had with the product, and I had plenty of time to play around, make mistakes. So honestly, once your primer is on, all you need to do is take your stain, apply a really light coat, grab your favorite graining tool and gently rock it back and forth along the top of the dresser. You'll want to make sure that you go end to end without stopping. I applied one line at a time so that it allowed me to make sure that the paint didn't dry as I was working on the previous line. This is very much a trust the process type of thing. There were times where I didn't think one of the lines looked good, and then I took a step back and took a look at like the whole picture, and I realized that it looked a lot like wood would look, with some imperfections and some lines that weren't quite perfect. So I didn't go back and redo anything, although you really could with this product, but I was really amazed on how much this ended up looking like wood when I got finished. I waited a few hours for the wood grain top to dry, and then I came back out to apply a second layer of this Retique It stain. I'm using the color Weathered Wood for the top of this dresser. This second coat of stain really enhances the richness of the wood grain that you just created, and it gives it that feel of real wood. Unless you watch somebody do this to a piece of furniture, you honestly would never guess that this has been painted on. It is really that good close up. I gave the top about an hour to dry and then removed all the painter's tape. You all will have to let me know what you think of this in the comments so far. Are you thinking of a million things in your home that you could use this product on? I absolutely love how easy this is to use. You don't have to sand a project down completely, which is a total time saver. And just when you thought that that faux wood top was going to be the star of the show, we're going to elevate this dresser even more. Quite literally. I'm going to give it some new gold feet to give it a nice little boost off the ground and help deter those eyes away from some of the chunkier details on the bottom of the dresser. Elegant and sleek is the name of the game for 2024 furniture, and that's where we're headed. My wonderful garage helper is out assisting me today, figuring out where to put these hardware holes. Normally I use my hardware template, but when you have these recessed parts in the drawer, you can't fit the template in there. So we start by using the measuring tape and finding the center. Then I have a piece of painter's tape where I've marked the holes where my hardware should go, and I line it up according to the tape measurer. I make some marks with my pencil on the drawer so that we know where our pilot holes need to go. I found some sleek but basic drawer pulls. I want these to blend into the overall look of the dresser. They are not meant to be the star of the show. I really want the focus to be on the legs and of course on that faux wood top that we created. I found these drawer pulls on Amazon, and again, I'll link them in the description box below. For the last step, I applied Reteakit's Triple Teak Top Coat, which is a scratch-resistant, non-yellowing, water-based type of polyurethane. I used my poly sponge to apply 2 coats, allowing 4 hours in between for dry time. The jar says that this cures in 3 to 10 days depending on the humidity, so if this sells before the 10-day mark, I'll be sure to tell the buyer not to put anything on it until it's fully cured. Let's take one last look at this $5 once dated dresser. It really is incredible to witness the power of a little bit of creativity and a whole lot of elbow grease. So what did you guys think of today's awesome flip? I know that I'm in love with it. I cannot believe how well this Reteakit works. I know you've already seen it all over my channel. It's all over Instagram. It's really amazing how this stuff works. I have tagged the kit that I used today down in my comments below. So if you have any questions, go visit the link. They are so helpful. This video is not sponsored by them. I just seriously love the product. I really encourage you guys to pick it up if you're looking for ways to bring this natural wood look into your own home in a way that is super easy to do, even for the beginner DIYer. You all saw me do that. It was my very first time trying to use those wood graining tools, and you saw how easy it was for me. That was not cut footage, you guys. Like, that was me doing it right there on the spot, showing you all how it worked. So I hope that that's encouraging to know that you can do it too. You really can. So thank you guys so much for sticking around. Please give this video a like, a comment, subscribe to my channel if you like this content. I would love to have you around, and I'll see you next time on Lemons to Lemonade Furniture.